Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we're coming off of a bit of a disastrous race in Circuit of the Americas, and we survived, but we finished dead last under caution, final lap when we wrecked ourselves. Now, as we can focus back in on some oval racing here, Phoenix Raceway, and we're bringing in an all level 4 upgraded car this weekend. We're still going to struggle down some straightaways, but I think we can still put a decent effort together. Now, we had some big news coming into this weekend, not NASCAR related specifically, but NASCAR drivers are involved. Denny Hamlin has joined forces with Kevin Harvick and Dale Earnhardt Jr., and they have now bought and taken over SRX in a series that had died just recently. They have revived it, and they will be bringing it back as soon as this season for a few races of exhibition showcases. They won't be doing a proper season, but they have announced some NASCAR drivers from the Cup Series, Xfinity Series will be taking part in that series, and I am one of the drivers, I can confirm, that will be taking part in this series and the revival races coming this season. They are currently expecting to do 2 to 3 races this season, and the next season do an actual proper season again. So going to be really exciting to be able to kind of get behind the wheel of an SRX car again under new ownership. And you know, we of course did an SRX race in the prologue video to try and get our name made in the NASCAR scene, and the series unfortunately ended up dying out, but now it's back under new ownership with some legends of the sport of Earnhardt Jr. and Harvick and Hamlin as well. So some really exciting things to look forward to this season in terms of exhibition racing. I mean, we've got the now SRX news. We already have the NASCAR International Exhibition Series that's going to be showcasing this season as well, and on top of that as well, I mean, with Boost Energy as our personal sponsor, we're going to be doing some cool things with them throughout the season as well, a few times here and there. Stay tuned on that. Nothing to share yet, but there's some cool things on the way. Now, focusing in on Phoenix though, and we are rolling our car up to the grid here, ready to go for qualifying. I forgot to change the sponsor goal to lower than a top 25, but that will be changed next episode, I can confirm. But we kick off qualifying here now, and yeah, I mean, we're going to stay in 4th gear right here in Phoenix. This car quite simply isn't fast enough to warrant going into 5th gear at the end of the straightaway into turn 1. So we stay in 4th, jump down to 3rd gear, back up to 4th on the exit of the corner, and you can see, I mean, you'll see it in the race specifically, but we are just crawling down the straightaways as we downshift into 3rd here in the middle of 3 and 4. Hard on the gas now out of 4, a little bit loose on the exit of turn 4. That was a bit concerning, but to the line, it's a 30.099, and it's P32 here is where we're going to start in Phoenix. Not exactly where we want to be, as Ryan Blaney is on pole position. We beat Custer Stenhouse, Dylan Herbst, as well as Ware, Jimmy Johnson in the field this weekend, with Josh Bilicki and Elio Castroneves at the bottom of the grid there. As you see the rest of your qualifying order in the top 10 there, you got Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, but up front it's Blaney, Christopher Bell, and William Byron there making up the top 3. Now it's time to go racing here Sunday afternoon from Phoenix Raceway.
Sunday afternoon, the black top's getting hot, 40 engines screaming for the one and only spot. Feel the thunder in your chest, the rumble in the ground. It's go time, light 'em up and let 'em roll. Green flags waving, lose your self-control. This is more than just a race, it's in our heart and soul.
It's time to kick things off as we are ready to go to the grid here from Phoenix now. You'll see the flyover coming over any second now to get this energy going even further here from Phoenix Raceway. This is going to be an exciting one now. I think we've got an opportunity to do some big things here. And when I say big things for this Tricon Garage team, I'm talking like a top 30. I think a top 30 is a viable expectation, a viable option for us. 78 laps of racing here today, so we've got plenty of laps now. Stage 1 is a pretty short stage, as here we go. Green flag is out, and we're racing here from Phoenix Raceway now. Noah Gregson in the number 4 there, just in front as well, alongside the 38 of Zane Smith as we cross the stripe. And you see, I mean, we've only got, 10 laps of racing here in stage number 1. It's an extremely short stage. It's just, you got to get in and go. In stage 2, we're like 3 times the length. It's like 30 plus laps in stage 2 as we're 3 wide to the top now. This is a track where we were last time here fighting for a championship in the Xfinity Series with the Sam Hunt Racing team. Things didn't quite go how we had imagined, and we of course came up short and weren't even really in consideration for winning the championship by the time that race came to an end. But I mean, we still had one heck of an Xfinity season and ended it there at of course Phoenix Raceway. But as we come through here into Phoenix in this Cup Series car, I mean, it's a very different situation with Tricon Garage and not a lot of speed. You can see where we're bleeding the time. It's the exact same situation as Circuit of the Americas. We're bleeding time down the straightaways, and this is a trend that's going to continue to kind of bite us here for the next few races until I feel like I'm pretty sure we can go up to what is it, level 9, level 10 or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, maybe even level 11 in a Cup car. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but nonetheless I feel like it's going to probably take to like a level 5, level 6 upgrade to where we're more competitive down the straightaways. So we are going to, however, it's going to be an interesting dynamic because we're giving up time on the straightaways, but we can carry much more speed into the corner because we're going so much slower. So we actually do make up for it a little bit here, what we lose down the straightaway. So I feel like that's something on the longer run, which we're not going to get unfortunately in stage 1, but in stage 2 and 3 we're going to get longer runs hopefully, and I think that's something that is going to allow us to actually benefit from more than actually lose from come later in the run. So we just got to be patient and really get through this first and opening stage. I don't know why I kept saying it was 10 laps. It's 15 laps in stage 1. I realized that when I had to pause and listen back to my commentary. 15 laps here in stage 1, so but still obviously not a lot of time. But you can see as we continue on though in these laps we are just starting to kind of move forward a little bit now. We've gotten back to Balicki as well as Cole Custer, so there is some speed here on that longer run. We come to 5 laps to go and we're actually cutting down on that dog leg, just trying to kind of save any bit of time we can. Crash! The 7 of Haley goes around in turn 1, don't come back down, hits us in the right front. Cautions out. Stage 1 over. Ryan Blaney leads at the time of yellow. He'll pick up a playoff point and 10 stage points here now as everybody is going to flood into the pit lane and get tires and as well as fuel. So, well, bit of an unfortunate end right there to stage number 1 is we aren't going to bother repairing the car. The car doesn't really need repairs. I am making some wedge adjustments there because the car was a little bit loose and I wanted it just to be a little bit more snug as it will get ready for this restart. We actually gain a position there over I'm not sure who we passed in the pits, but nonetheless we'll restart alongside that 66 of Josh Balicki. I was going to say Chad Fincham, but we're back underway as Ryan Blaney leads the field to green here through this trioval down towards turn number 1, and we've got over 30 laps of racing here in stage 2. So what we just learned in stage 1 was it takes 9-10 laps or so to start to gain enough speed compared to the drivers around us to get that long run speed working. So we're just kind of hanging on for about 10 laps now as we are 3 wide in the middle down this back straightaway here. Ty Dillon to my right, Cody Ware to my left here as we roll the middle lane and actually pick up some good momentum on the exit of turn number 4. And I mean, a very strong opening lap, and then we hit the part of like, yeah, I can't go down a straightaway. So we're just in survival going down these straightaways now, and it is so painful to just go down a straight line here in this level 4 car. I am hopeful, like, going into the future, like by the end of like season 1, we're gonna look back and kind of chuckle at how slow we were, and we should be a lot faster with this number 85 team come the season end, and hopefully long before that now. As my goal really is by the time we get to the Chicago Street Course and Sonoma pairing of races, that's kind of like the moment of similar in Xfinity last season. That was the turning point of the season. I'm hoping those are the turning points as well. I think a turning point, though, in our Rookie Cup season is a lot different from an Xfinity season. In Xfinity, it was winning and making the playoffs and then going on a run to the Final Four. And Cup, I would consider a turning point to this season with this car, more so of just like running top 15 and top 20 and stuff like that. And on a road course, so running top 10. But I'm not really expecting to be fighting for wins. Now, once we come around to like Charlotte Roval later in the season, I think we'll have a car capable of fighting for a win. But obviously, we saw last episode in Circuit of the Americas, the guy to beat on these road courses, Shane Van Gisbergen, is the man. And he is not going to make life easy on anybody on these road courses. Now picked up his first full-time win, his second career win overall last episode there in COTA. Now as we continue to kind of fade here now to lap 8 of the stage, and Stenhouse passes us. Ty Dillon, I mean, we got split 3 wide in the middle right there. We're going to get back to the outside of the 10, however, on the exit of turn 2, lap 8 of 31 at this point now. And yeah, I mean, you can see we got such a great run, and then it all kind of dies out, but then going back into the corner, and we gain it all back and then some. So we are overall gaining more than we're losing down the straightaway, so that's kind of the positive here. As long as I don't slip up, that's the main thing. We did eventually lose some ground though to Ty Dillon, but look at this, the 66 of Balicki way out of the groove. We'll clear him on the exit of turn 4 back into the top 35. I do believe we can get a top 30 finish out of this as long as we get green flag runs, but I mean the 7 of Haley already had that crash in stage 1, so I'm hopeful that's not a sign of things to come here throughout the rest of this race. Now as we were now making moves to the outside of the 47, I found this middle lane was absolutely where the speed was for this 85 car, specifically in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 kind of want to be on the bottom, but obviously when we're trying to make a pass, I can't really do that. And I was finding it nearly impossible to pass on the bottom. And look at that, we cleared the 47 running that second lane.
Outside door.
So now into P34, pit stops are about to kick off here, green flag pit stops, so get ready for those now as we're to the right rear of the 10 of Ty Dillon on the exit of turn 2 down the back straightaway. He'll of course clear us. We've already got somebody in the pits, and the pit lane is now flooding at this point as we speak. We had moved up into P30. Ty Dillon looks like he might be coming in right here. Yes, he is, and as well the 7 of Haley's coming in. A lot of drivers. The leader of Ryan Blaney is coming to the pits. We're going to go a little bit further here now. I was waiting to kind of wait and see how things were going to work itself out, but we're now into the top 20 at this point, so I'm like, okay, we should probably get ready to come in ourselves. 5 laps of fuel in the car. The right side tires are pretty worn. I would decide to go about another lap or so and wait to see. The 2 of Cindric now promotes himself to the lead of this race, and that's kind of like where I see now he's pitting. I'm like, okay, it's time to pit. Look at the right rear or right front. It's down to almost 30% on that right front tire, 40% on the right rear, so we are going to pit this time. My crew chief does not call me in, so I have to go in and make the adjustments myself, but it's straightforward. 1 can of fuel, 4 tires, and yeah, we're going to keep the wedge where it's at. I'm pretty happy with how the car is driving for the most part. We just quite simply need more speed in the car, but we'll come in, we'll get these 4 Goodyear tires off and get a brand new set on. Right side goes down, they'll carry around to the left side, get those left sides off, waiting. I really wish we could be outside of the car for the pit stop. It kind of kills the pit stops here in this game. You know, I want to see what's going on, but nonetheless, the 15.8 second pit stop will get back out on the racetrack, and oh boy, we are going to be, what, 35th, 36th. Here comes Jimmy Johnson, Cody Ware. Oh, wow, we are down to 38th by staying out a good 3 or 4 extra laps in these guys, and we've got less than 10 laps to go here to try and make up some of this track position. Here comes now Denny Hamlin in the progressive at number 11. Ryan Blaney, after the pit sequence, still has himself out in front. We would pass the 66 of Balicki, so there's P37. Jimmy Johnson's right here, so we are running down Johnson and Ware as well. Of course, they pitted a few laps earlier, so we have that bit of a tire advantage, but unfortunately, we are a lap down. Here comes Christopher Bell now looking to my left side here as we roll through 1 and out of turn 2. I kind of got in his way. I wasn't really trying to be in his way, but it just kind of worked out that way, but we do move over down the straightaway straightaway, and there he goes through on the inside. But now lap 26, technically 27, of course, as we are that scored 1 lap down. But we're going to get to the back of Ware and Johnson, and here's Stenhouse as well. This is 3 positions right here up for grabs now as we're right to the back of the Hayek 47 down the front straightaway, and couldn't really do anything about it right there. We just kind of had to stay in line there behind Stenhouse now, but I am confident we can clear all 3 of these drivers before the end of this stage. But now, I mean, we're going to split 3 wide through the middle on Stenhouse and Ware. We clear the 47. Ware's going to go alongside Jimmy Johnson now as we come through this tri-oval. Now Stenhouse comes back to my inside just with that straight line speed, but he's not going to really be a match right here into 1 and 2. However, I can't really just free fall or free roll here in turn 2 because we got that 84 Carvana Toyota in the way. So we had to kind of be patient now as we approach just the final couple of laps at this point here in stage number 2. Now rip into that 3rd lane around the 84 of Johnson on the exit of turn 4, not enough to clear him, so he is going to fight back, but through 1 and 2, off turn 2, lap 29. Am I clear? Not quite. Johnson fights back one more time, but we should be able to clear him, hopefully, into 3 and 4 as Ryan Blaney now starts the final lap of stage 2, and off turn 4, we clear that 84 of Johnson. Cody Ware is up next. I can't believe we're racing this hard and we're only 35th position. I am still confident we can finish in the top 30, but we do peak to the right rear, but Cody Ware shuts the door, and that's probably going to do it right there. Ryan Blaney wins stage number 2. We're going to take one last shot at Cody Ware, rolling a lot of speed. Oh my goodness, we're going to make it happen. Out of turn 4, we'll take it by half a car length for 34th here in stage 2. We are still 1 lap down, so that's unfortunate. We are far from being in a free pass position. You can see a lot of drivers in front of us 1 lap down. It's a shame we still can't scroll through the leaderboard. That should have been a bare minimum feature that we do not have, unfortunately, in this game. So we can't really see who's getting the free pass and whatnot. But we do know one thing. Ryan Blaney's won the first 2 stages, and he and everybody else is about to pit for 4 tires and fill it up on fuel. And we gain 1 spot here for the restart P33, but we're on the outside here for this restart now as we get ready to roll. Green flag waiting. It's out now. Here we go for the 3rd and final stage from Phoenix Raceway. It has not been, a beautiful race by any means. It's not been a perfect race, but we've kind of stuck with it now, and we've got just a little over 30 laps to go. It's a pretty well the same run that we just had in stage 2, just with a couple of extra laps on top of that. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward what we need to do. I think one thing I want to do here in stage 3 is maybe pit a little bit earlier than I did in stage 2, because I mean it took us literally to the very last corner of stage 2 to kind of get back to where we were originally, and well, this stage is basically the same length, so I don't want to be in that position again. We know we're going to be getting dominated down the straightaways again here on these opening laps of this stage, and behind us Jimmy Johnson's actually going 3 wide through the middle between Ware and now Herbston. The 7 of Haley as well as will continue this kind of bleeding time in these opening laps. It's really just about kind of being patient and just being calm, cool, and collected, because I know that this car is going to come to us as these laps go on, but we're actually going to pass the 47 of Stenhouse, who blew the corner, and thank you very much, Ricky, because we'll move back through into P34. Here comes Castroneves. We're going to be 3 wide middle. Stenhouse stop, Castroneves inside here into turn number 1. We'll slide back in behind that Wendy's number 91. What a beautiful paint scheme that is, by the way, as we lean onto the back bumper of Castroneves on the exit of turn 2 now. A very interesting race for Castroneves to choose to do. 3 wide behind us between Balicki, Ware, and Johnson briefly, but as we continue scrapping with this 91 of Castroneves, I have now jumped up to that 2nd lane, and that should be enough of an advantage for us to roll the outside around him, and that's exactly what it's going to turn into. We'll clear him on the exit of turn 4, so back up into P34 at this point. Now, we're already to lap 52, so we've got about 25 laps to go in this race, and Ryan Blaney has controlled the pace all race long. He is really just trying to hang on to the end here and get victory. Castroneves is not going away. He is still 2-man left side, running way down the racetrack there. And finally on lap 53, through 3 and 4 again, we get once again clear of that 91, and hopefully as I cut down across his nose and even cut all the way down to the pit wall, completely legal here in Phoenix, that should kind of solidify my spot on the 91. He does try to take a bit of a dive up the inside in 1 and 2, but we are able to carry so much momentum momentum, and now it was like, okay, let's try to focus in on running down the 41 of Cole Custer, and we would do that. Lap 59, here we go. We are now starting to find more and more speed. We've got less than 20 laps to go. Green flag pit stops are already coming up here, so we know that's going to really be the money maker for this race for us now, as we've got Custer and Zane Smith and Ty Dillon, the 3 cars directly in front of us, and Eric Jones having a bit of a poor run here in 30th position. So I mean, top 30 would be an absolute win for this Tricon Garage team on anything that's not a super speedway at this point now, and I would love to get that top 30 to kind of make up for my embarrassment in COTA. We got a car in the pits, so green flag pit stops are officially kicking off. Couldn't quite make out who it was, but definitely a lead lap car because we didn't gain a position. I say right now, let's make the call to come in. We're going to make it early, and unlike stage 2 where we stayed out later than most, we're going to come in earlier than most now. So we're going to come in, get the 4 tires, and we only need 1 can of fuel to make it to the end of the race. We still have 7 estimated laps of fuel. You can probably stretch that out to 9 laps, but we're just not going to entertain that. We're going to pit. We're going to hope for no caution. A caution is very possible. The new patch actually fixed the incident frequency, and now we get crashes at these tracks as well, but now we'll come in and just hope for no caution. 4 tires going on here one more time, and I am hopeful that we can make up enough time at the beginning of this new run on tires here, and therefore we hopefully don't give up too much at the end and give up track position. So we're going to try and gain track position right now, and of course let that make up for what happens later in this run. But nonetheless, we rejoin the race here now, and back onto the racing surface. Here comes some fast cars. That's Chase Elliott coming through. He's actually the leader right now, so he is yet to pit. Kyle Larson in the number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet just behind as well. So the 2 Hendrick teammates going a little bit longer into the run, and they're going to absolutely destroy me into turn 3, but we've got the tires, so we should be able to roll back past the 9. Yes, sir, there we can. Through 3 and 4, we can roll back past in front of that Napa Auto Parts Camaro. So as we continue to let this green flag pit stop cycle play its kind of play through, we come out behind Ty Dillon as well as Todd Gilliland, but waiting to kind of run another lap or 2 before we really know the proper situation we're in. But we're coming up on 10 laps to go as we speak now, and as we come through to the start finish line, Ty Gibbs is actually leading. He still has to come into the pits as well. He's just pitted. We're going to be right here with the 42 of Nemechek and Allmendinger. These 2 drivers are on the lead lap, so unfortunately we are not fighting these guys for track position, but we've already made gains. We're into P31 in front of Cole Custer, in front of Zane Smith. So there's the positives right off the bat. That's already worked out for us. The question is, can we hang on to this track position? I think we can. We're going to drive really, really hard to try and hang on, and I am hopeful we can maybe get to 1 more car to get a top 30 result. And as we come to lap 69, approaching 70, the new leader after the pit cycle, but the guy that's led all race long, Ryan Blaney, is right here on me. However, he's got a challenger as I'm staying out of the way, but here comes Christopher Bell and the DeWalt number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing, who wants to have a crack at taking the lead with less than 10 laps to go in this race here from Phoenix Raceway. Now, as we exit turn 2, there you see, to the inside, the 20's looking into turn number 3. Ryan Blaney, who's led so many laps, is under some serious pressure now. As we approach lap 71, Blaney is, I don't think that's a good move. He's going to get caught up behind the lap car just about now. Bell cuts down on the apron just a little bit. He's to the left side, and Bell into turn 1 is going to go side by side with Ryan Blaney, and he's going to take the lead. A Toyota in the way of Blaney allows another Toyota to take the lead here with less than 10 laps to go. Christopher Bell to the lead now, as William Byron in 3rd place is coming up behind us very quickly as well. And now Byron would very quickly get past me, and we had moved into the top 30 at this point. Someone had to pit, I don't know who, but now we are very quickly being run down by the 7 of Haley, but just as quickly I'm running down the 43 of Eric Jones. Now I think Eric Jones took 2 tires because we are catching him at a significant pace. Christopher Bell now in control with only 2 laps to go, as we have gone, of course, 2 laps down at this point in this race here in Phoenix, and suddenly we got a chance to go run down Eric Jones for P29 here. It's been a grueling race. We have fought hard. We have played the strategy right here with this Tricon Garage team, And now with a lap and a half to go, we've got one shot to get Eric Jones. White flag is in the air for the number 20 DeWalt Camry of Christopher Bell. Ryan Blaney dominated all day long, but it's going to come up short as Bell takes the lead late in this race with help from a Toyota lapped car. Now here comes Chase Elliott in the background as well, but I am not too worried about the 9. He's got no pressure from anybody else, and I am trying to pass this 43 through turn 2. We get alongside Eric Jones in that Advent Health Toyota Camry for Legacy Motor Club now through 3 and 4 for Christopher Bell. Bell is going to win his first race of the season in Phoenix, and one last chance down to the final corner to get P29 through 3 off turn 4, sliding up the racetrack. We take the position. P29 in Phoenix, our best non-super speedway result, and very, very content with that as Christopher Bell takes the win here from Phoenix. Denny Hamlin rounds out the top 10, and yeah, I mean, 29th isn't special by any means, of course, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with that result as you see the rest of your finishing orders. So yeah, couldn't be happier with that one now, and we'll of course take a look at the standings to wrap up today's episode here, and it's going to be interesting to see how kind of deep in the field we are, because outside of Daytona, it's been a rough start to the season. Atlanta didn't go great, and of course Coda ended pretty horrifically. There's actually not a whole lot of wear and tear on our car following today's episode. We are P30 in the standings following today's episode, going into the next one in Vegas. Kyle Busch currently the last driver in the playoffs, but Christopher Bell now at the top over Van Gisbergen, Logano, and Jones. 4 races, 4 different winners as expected. We've had 4 completely different racetracks so far to kick off this season now, and we're not looking too deep into the playoffs until a good 3 or 4 extra races now once things start to settle down. That does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one at Las Vegas. 1.5 mile racing. It's going to be a tough one for this team. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.